Hi, good afternoon. So, today we're going to be talking about employee attraction. Are you finding it tough to bring in good employees? Do you even know what good employees look like? How do you keep them? What do you do to keep them? If you are in that boat, then this is the video for you. My name is Shireen Dickens.
I'm Clyde Morrison.
And we are with the business of cleaning, where we are going to show cleaning owners how to go from self-employed to CEO. So, Clive, employee attraction, it's so important. We all know that we need employees. Once we've cleaned our first couple of homes by ourselves, then we're like, hey, I'm ready to grow this thing. And the first thing that all of us do is go and get employees. That sometimes goes right, sometimes goes wrong. Kind of give us some insight into employee attraction and like, what does that actually look like? What does it even mean?
So employee attraction, right? Just getting the right employees, somebody that you want to work with, right? The ideal fit. A lot of times we hear, especially in this market right now, oh, there's no good employees. Nobody wants to come and work. And like I tell everybody, you can't pay anybody enough, right? Because there's people who make $1 million who leave their job, right? Mm-hmm. And a lot of times people leave because of their managers. We say there's not good employees, but do we have good culture? Are we good bosses? Right? So a lot of times, right, we want to throw it right back on them, but we have to look at ourselves and be like, hey, because just think about it. You hire somebody, right? And they have no idea what's going on. Their first impressions, before you even speak to them, your online presence, right? How you're onboarding, when they come through the interview. There's a lot of things that go on that we're not even understanding, that they have a lot of apprehension. They're looking for a new job. They want to get money. They have a lot of questions. Mm-hmm. So people have bad experiences with employees. The first thing is you have to take responsibility. That you have to say, okay, am I creating an environment where people want to come and work? Am I creating an environment where my ideal customer, my ideal client? So we always look at employee attraction the same way we look at getting a client, right? Marketing, right? Putting on your best face. Hey, it's a great place to work. We love it here. It all starts with your online presence.
You know what? Something that you just said is great, but I don't think a lot of us look at it like that. You just said you look at your employee the same way you look at your ideal client, and a lot of us don't. We're just like, hey, we need bodies. We need people who are willing to work, as opposed to an ideal employee. You know what I mean? Like some of us starting out our businesses, we've hired our friends, wrong thing to do. We've hired people off the street, wrong thing to do. You know what I mean? So when you're saying that we need to come at hiring or employee attraction the same way that we do client attraction, I think that's something that I just wanted to make it a big point for us cleaning owners as CEOs to look at it like that we are marketing to our cleaners as well. And we need to use marketing techniques the same way we would bring in an ideal client, that we would bring in an ideal cleaner. And that's where Clive's the expert.
We're trying. I've just thought about it a lot, right? Because I've worked before, and just understanding reverse engineering and thinking about what would I want to do going into a business, what went wrong, and a lot of times we take a short-term view. So instead of sitting down and saying, who do I want to work here, we're just like, I need a body. I need somebody to work here. And we always think that people are going to be like us, right? They're like, oh, they don't care about the business as much as I do. I said, they're not getting paid like that. You do. They don't have any incentive like you do. They don't own 100% of the business. Why would they care like you do? They came to get a job, right? So your job is to create an environment. You're sending somebody into somebody's home, into somebody's office, into somebody's establishment. We have to be very, very, very cautious of what we're doing, right? So we have to be thinking about, okay, do I like this person? Can I trust this person? And there's no guarantees in anything, right? People are like, oh, somebody can come with the best resume and be the worst person, right?
So much.
And people can have the worst resume and be the best person. But I always tell people, I like to go on factors and take a risk, right? But I want to put all the favor I want to take the smallest risk possible. So I look at, okay, can you answer these questions? We have a whole online application, right? And then when they pass the application, there's a little test on there to see their personalities, because we figured out which personalities have been more prevalent in the business.
That's interesting too, mm-hmm. Where you're looking at personalities more so than skills.
Well, you can, so we have a training program, And we just figured that, so what we've seen, because our first thing was like, hey, we want the experienced cleaners, right? And what we found was that we've had experienced cleaners who were great at what they do, but their attitudes were terrible. Right?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I know some of those.
Exactly. So people have come in and you'll hear the customer be like, they did a great job, but they didn't like their attitude, or they looked at me. I just asked them one question. They were like, I got it. I know what you're doing. And when that happens, people don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Exactly. So people are like, what are they talking about? So they don't want them in their home. So we just understand you can't, we hire for attitude because you can train the skill.
Yeah.
Right? You can train people and we have a lot of people who came here who they did not know how to clean, but they got a great attitude. And that's what we're looking for. So, and that comes back to when you understand what are we looking for, understanding on your online presence.
Yeah.
You know, whatever kind of business you want, right? You know, say, hey, we want people who are fun loving, who are coachable, who love a team environment. They love to be in people's home. They have a happy spirit. That's where you want to know what you're looking for, and you can ask for that. You can advertise that, because once again, you can't, if you're paying $15, $16, $20 an hour, there's another job that pays more than that.
Yeah, it is.
So you have to create an environment where people don't want to leave.
So that is what I'm hearing, is most of the employee attraction part is literally about us as the CEOs and our mindset. You know, someone told me that one day too, and it was so humbling. I said, man, I can't find any workers. And it was like, they don't want to work for you. There's plenty of workers. I said, me? And you know, I'm in New York City where there's 10 million of us in a space the size of, you know, a tiny little island. So yeah, there's people want to work. It's the same thing in your city. Wherever city you are, you know, put your job out on a job board and watch how many applications you get. They're going to come in. We just have to set the right space and we have to set up the right process and create the right atmosphere for the employees to feel comfortable and be able to do their work. And that is what kind of the bottom line in employee attraction is. Yeah, so just going back over it, having a great online presence, right? Making sure that taking from your cleaners or what you're doing now, right? Showing that, hey, we get good reviews, or if you don't have any workers yet, showing yourself, you know, happily cleaning and that you're looking for somebody to join you, right? If you do have cleaners, showing that they're enjoying working there, right? Making sure that you have a way to filter out everybody that's coming through so that you can say, okay, I want these people here. Having an interview process and knowing what you're looking for in the interview process, right? What kind of questions do you want to ask, and they have answers to these questions? And then you say, okay, this looks like a good fit. Making sure you're onboarding them correctly, right? So that when they come, they feel welcome. Yeah. A lot of times we'll be like, all right, it's day one, just go to the office and da-da-da, right? Right? Here go a shirt. We'll holler at you. You know what I'm saying? I've hired someone out of the Dunkin' Donuts, right? In New York City, I'm in there with my shirt on and my cleaning supplies. The woman says, I need a clean. You clean? I said, yes. I need a cleaner. You clean? She said, yes. I said, here's the address. Said, come there tomorrow, 2:00. When she got there, I tried to give her all 58 jobs on my schedule. Everything that day, along with part of running the business. Yeah. And then wonder why she didn't come back. I said, for $15 an hour, I tried to partner the poor lady in. We just don't know because we don't understand this. We think that everybody loves our business as much as we do. And then the other thing is we think that people want all the overwhelm, that we're overwhelmed. That's what we're trying to get to it, right? Because we're overwhelmed. We're like, yo, here, take all of it, right? You know what I'm saying? So anyways, you have to set that environment, right? And make sure that you have a warm welcome in place from the time from your online presence when they've never seen you all the way to their onboard, and they feel welcome. They be like, this is somewhere I would love to work. That way they won't even be looking for another job as you're training them, because they feel like they're in a warm, welcoming environment. People like to connect. People like to they want to come into work every day, you know, and I hope I can ask the people who work at our job, right, if they enjoy it, right? You know what I'm saying? They feel welcome there. But you know, we talk every day. People, they communicate. They're online. They talk with each other, and we just try to have a healthy communication culture in there, right? That was awesome, Clive. I'm so glad you were able to help us kind of clear up what employee attraction really means, how that works for us, and, you know, basically how we sustain keeping these good employees. So if you enjoyed this video, we will have a lot more coming. Right, stay tuned. Make sure you understand it's the business of cleaning.
right? Where we're just helping you to go from self-employed to CEO, so you can employ more people, right? And make sure that you provide jobs and have people in a healthy environment, right? So see you in the next video.
Thank you.